Hello, welcome to another video from the Fantasy Legion. We're talking 2020 NFL rookies and where they landed and what are their opportunities. Got Sean with me.
It's good to be back, Al. And who have we got on our rookie list today?
Jeudy. So a lot of people's favourite wide receiver in this draft class.
Yeah.
Landed with the Denver Broncos.
Them,
what are your thoughts with landing at the Denver Broncos? Good opportunity?
I think it's a great opportunity, yeah. I mean, again, a little surprised, some of the landing spots have been, quite surprised us all, I think, of where people ended up going. There was a lot of talk that he was going to end up in either the Vegas Raiders or, he was going to end up in maybe the Jets, and those they did seem logical spots. But he's ended up in Denver, and I think that's a brilliant situation for him. There's a couple of caveats of concern. Obviously now Drew Lock is going to have to prove he's been loaded with talent. I mean, he's been given the perfect keys to the roster here. So he's loaded with talent. Jeudy's one of those brilliantly talented players coming in. And he's now got to show that he can, he is the leader and this is now going to be his team and he's going to take a big step forward for this year, old Drew Lock. And Jeudy will be a big part of that. If he's going to take a step forward, Jeudy will be a big part of it. And I think going in and not having to be the number one, carry the load, Jeudy, year one, I think is a blessing in disguise. So Denver's a great fit. So Jeudy should do well. I think he's going to do okay year one, actually. I mean, there's no reason why he can't produce year one. And, at a discounted price, because he will be discounted. There's a lot of other wide receivers up on draft boards. He should be good value. Should be worth taking a few shots at him, maybe round 6, 7s, and 8s. That seems like a good bit of value, really. Maybe your third or fourth wide receiver off the board seems good value, I think.
You don't think he'll be higher than that initially? I suppose.
I don't see any reason why not. I mean, look, if most people
because of hype, rookie hype, it's always the same every year, isn't it? People get hyped.
Well, Sutton would be the number one at Denver, rightly so, and Jeudy will go in and learn the ropes behind him, and maybe in a year or two he'll shake out as the lead wide receiver. But at the moment, Sutton will court the big value, and that's right, fair. But also coming with the big value comes the best corners and safeties. So Judy's got a chance to return value at a lower price in redraft. In Dynasty year one, he'll have a value and he'll keep getting better every year. And I think when it's all said and done, we're going to see a very interesting draft class of wide receivers coming out of this group.
Okay, so what are Jerry Jeudy's main skill set? What can the Denver fans and the fantasy fans, expect to come from him? What does he do well? Where will he?
It's worth looking back at the first video we put out before landing spot, so do take a look at that. But to recap it here, the best thing that he does is at the top of the route tree. So when he's running his route and as he's about to make his move, the key move in that moment. So it depends. It's hard to explain on tape. You'd want to show it in the background. But when he gets to the top of the movement, the moment he's got to make that decision for the safety or corner and move them one way or the other, that's where he's at his most explosive. He's fantastic at that moment of shifting position. And he often gets a yard or two open. That's where he's so good. This isn't just pushing off on a corner or a safety or maybe running them deep and then cutting back. He's able to do this on every route that I've seen. He has a brilliant technique of it. So he's very explosive coming out of his break at the top of the route tree movement. And that is unique. It's very rare. And so he's going to do very well at the next level. And they're going to be excited to watch him play. He can do the underneath work. He can operate out of the slot if you want him to, although I don't think you need to. He can operate as a legit wide receiver 1 or 2, depending on the offense, but he won't be asked to do that as a number 1 here. So he can operate as wide receiver 2. So he could be targeted a lot year 1. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is. And if Drew Lock finds a player that he bonds with, he could quickly supplant Sutton as the number 1. But that's not bad either for Sutton. It's not bad either. So Sutton's production may not drop at all. So
yeah, sometimes
really,
having
really
another good player in the offense, helps you.
Oh, it really, doesn't it? Really helps. It helps everybody. Helps the running game. Helps the quarterback out. It's just so helpful because normally one of the problems a rookie quarterback has, and I know that Drew Lock now isn't a rookie, but one of the problems you go into is you've got to be able to look beyond your first read. You've got to be able to go through your there's my first look, there's my second, there's my third look. and that's the hardest bit to transition in the NFL. Jeudy offers you that opportunity that if your first look isn't good, you can go back to him, and he will probably offer a much better option at the second look. So that's so helpful for Drew Lock. You can't put a price on it. So he will do well I think he'll do well year one. I think he is a good player at the cheap price. Jeudy,
do you think long term he's going to be a star in the league? How good do you think he can be? What sort of
how good? Bold prediction then. Got to be said.
Don't have to make a bold prediction.
No, how good year two? I mean, year one tricky because quite a few things to overcome.
It always is for rookies. You have to.
But year two and beyond. I mean, I can see year one. I can see Metcalf numbers year one and AJ Brown numbers from Jeudy, and that's good enough, right? Year two, 12, 1300s, wide receiver 5, 6 in the league, maybe 4. That good.
Especially,
he's that capable. He's that capable of producing, and he can take coverage away because he gets open. You see, normally when you're looking at a player who faces double coverage, the hardest thing at the top of the route tree is if you've got a guy over the top of you and a guy underneath you. How do you get open? Because they've got a bead on you. This guy at the top of the route tree does something unique, so he can even beat double coverage. So that means at the next level, he's going to be a star. So very excited to see what he can do. And in that Denver situation is a great one for him to fall to. I mean, it can't be underestimated how useful that's going to be for his development. So, I was a little concerned, like if he went to the Raiders and he had to be their number one. Yeah, it's really hard to just, be constantly throwing the ball out and battered to the ground. That's really tough for a young guy coming in. He doesn't have to face that here in Denver. Much better situation. Time to learn. You can't get a better situation for Jeudy than, I'll tell you what, your GM, hi, John Elway, talk to me about some ideas of how I can get even better. I think it's a great fit. I'm very excited. I mean, that's the best scenario for him.
And people often say about him that he's pro ready. What does that mean? Is it the route tree? Is it what is?
Yeah, it's look. They always say, you'll hear it all the time. It's a very easy thing to throw out, but he can run all the routes and he's got great hands. Well, you'd expect that. He's a wide receiver, but what he doesn't just run them. He gets open. He can run them, and when it's the point that you have to make a decision as a wide receiver, are you coming back? Are you going to go deeper? Are you going to ad-lib? He's amazing at that. And when he does it, that's why he's always open. You see, and it's never the same move twice. I mean, I look at his tape and I go, not seen that move before. Never saw that move before.
Yeah,
and every time I look at it, I go, I can see what you're running. It's obvious here. You're going to break here, do a 15-yard in. That's easy. I can see this coming. And then suddenly he does something, and I think, oh, how do you cover that? You can't cover that because...
And is that the difference between a good player and a really great player, potentially
he's
great
elite in that, and I think that's going to carry on. And he's landed with John Elway behind the scenes, being able to say, hey, look, if you do this and you do that, this is really going to improve it. I mean, what a situation for him. I mean, that cannot be underestimated. And Drew Lock is getting John Elway's ear all the time. So if any team's going to take a big step forward this year, Denver have loaded up. Jeudy's going to benefit, and he's going to be a superstar in the NFL. I've no doubt about that. And I'm so pleased
Drew Lock
is
a great buy in Dynasty right now. He's probably stock's quite low, and even maybe a late pick in redraft. Drew Lock, because I think they do.
Well,
him. He looks like he's got the. Sorry, go on.
Well, as you know, Drew Lock was on our deep round rookie flyers to target list.
I know. Looking pretty good right now because
by my good self, that's another one of those quarterbacks we've picked out who wasn't number 1, wasn't number 2, wasn't number 3. And I've got one of those this year that's fallen to the dream position. And you know who he is. We'll save that for another video. And he was my number 3 on the list before it landed. And now he's in a prime position and no one's looking at him. I'm going, wow.
No, we'll look forward to finding out who you're talking about there. So
all he's got to do now is just bide his time, and that's the guy I'm going to target in drafts.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to hearing who that is. So, if you want to find out who that is, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when the videos come out. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, looking forward to you joining our Legion, and we'll see you the next time.